For those of you who have been watching me long enough, you've probably heard me mention Crab Champions a time or two. Crab Champions is the passion project from the guy who made the cult classic crab rave, Noisestorm. Today, I wanted to introduce people who haven't heard about the game because it needs more attention. I'm calling Crab Champions an arena shooter, and you're probably wondering why. Well, I think Crab Champions is doing something a little different from the standard arena shooter, but ultimately it still fits into the definition of one. I wouldn't say the main focus is the arena shooter style itself though, rather a wave survival FPS. I know some people will disagree with me on this, but I think it would be good to give the game the AFPS certificate. I want to discuss the modes that will be included in Crab Champions. What I find to be an interesting choice in a good way is Duel. Duel in Crab Champions is more than just 1v1s though. It's adopting a free-for-all and team deathmatch format to keep things simplified. You have 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4. I think this is a welcome simplification because I don't think Crab Champions will be this hyper-competitive, Quake-like game that needs to have a distinction between its modes. There will also be modifiers that you can apply to the game as such. Insta-gib, low gravity, low friction, which is pretty much just icy terrain, 2x speed, tiny players, and tanky health. On top of all this, duels work with a semi-RNG factor. Players will spawn in a predetermined location on a predetermined map, but with a random weapon that everyone starts with. Crab Champions also has an offline practice mode with bots, alongside a target practice warm-up mode. I think when you hear the term arena shooter, you automatically think competitive, which in my opinion is bad. Arena shooter should be used to describe what type of game it is, not how good or bad an audience is. Crab Champions will be more for fun than competitive, but this doesn't mean the game won't have competition. Right now, Noisestorm hasn't said anything for or against competitive play, because no one's really played it to see how competitive it could actually be. This could be the Mario Kart of arena shooters for all we know. I'm sure if there was a following for the game that naturally grew out of the scene, Noisestorm would put some focus into it. Crab Champions will also feature what I think is their main focus, a wave survival mode. Think Risk of Rain, but instead of difficulty increasing over time, it increases with how far you go. With this being the primary focus, I think it's safe to say the game will grow a pretty sizable audience. Noisestorm has said that he wants the game to have massive replayability, and what better to do that than make it rogue-lite-esque. Something that's a staple to any arena shooter is the movement. And oh boy, does Crab Champions have movement. You got dashes, you got ducks, you got dodges, the whole shebang. What's even more promising is the race mode, which is quite literally a toned-down version of defrag. I know he wouldn't do this, but I hope he names the mode D-Crab as a subtle reference. The movement looks really fluid, and in fact, he wants the movement to be action-oriented, and early on in development, he tested around with a stamina system, which he said hindered the experience. This is incredible news though, because from what I can tell, the game is actually really incredibly fast. And I'm sure you can see that from some of these images. This might seem like a very basic game right now, but let me assure you that's not the case. Under all this footage that I've shown you, they have an entire Wikipedia that I spent a better part of an hour looking on, and it has so much stuff that there's just no footage of. It's genuinely too much to cover for this one video with how much limited footage I have. So if I've sparked any interest at all, please go join the Crab Champions Discord, go follow Noisestorm and Crab Champions on Twitter, and sign up for the beta. All links will be in the description below. And until next time guys, peace!